another interesting episode of Labor Lens, where we bring to you updated information in the world of work and pay. I am Sharon Ijason. For the next few weeks, we will be discussing about the plight of workers here in Kaduna State. More than 4,000 local government workers have been sacked. More than 21,000 teachers will be sacked by the state government anytime from now. And we also have some civil service workers also sacked recently in Kaduna State. But before we go on this program, let's take the news. We will be right back.
These are members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, in the Southwest. They gathered here at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, to demonstrate their anger over uneven allocation of 23 billion naira earned allowance released to all the unions in Nigerian universities. SANU is one of the 3 non-teaching staff unions currently on strike over the matter. Armed with placards that bore their message of anger, the leadership of SANU in the Southwest marched around Futa to vent their anger. The National Vice President of SANU Western Zone, Ilesomi Jimo, led the protest. Jimo berated the Nigerian government for allocating 80% of the fund to members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, at the expense of 3 other unions.
The cheating and the undermining is further highly amplified in the marginalization of our members in the sharing of the 23 billion naira earned allowance that government has just released into the university system. For us, this is injustice of the highest order. Yes. More so when nobody can defend or produce any rationale behind the distribution.
His position was also corroborated by the National Public Relations Officer of SANU, Abdulsabob Abdulsalam, who wants President Muhammadu Buhari to probe allocation of the fund to the unions.
And we are demanding that if the federal government really believes that it is fighting corruption, this 23 billion that was allocated to the university system must be investigated. Because as far as we are concerned, that allocation was faulty and it smacks of corruption and stealing.
They insist that the strike will continue until government accedes to their demand.
Following the national strike embarked on recently by the Joint Action Committee of the National Association of the Academic Technologists, the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Allied Institutions, NASU, and the Senior Staff Association of the Nigerian Universities over the non-implementation and continued breach of the federal government university agreement signed in 2009. At a press brief in the Expo Hall of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, the association rejected the federal government's plan of formula sharing over the 23 billion naira, which was given to ASU, while only 11% was allocated to all the non-teaching staff unions. At the meeting, it was also noted that many universities were not captured in the document. They, however, urged the federal government to honor the agreement signed with the leaders of the union.
This time around, after a lot of protests, 23 billion was released, which was part of the MOU we entered on the 20th when if the 23 billion naira was for all the staff, all the 4 unions, how come that only 11%, 4-point-something billion, was now set aside for non-teaching staff unions in all the public universities, federal universities?
Government is in the habit of reneging in this agreement. And I tell you that some of these agreements could, if government is able to do its own bit, like the issue on ground. We are talking of 2009 agreement, 2009. Where are we now? 2017, which is almost running over. Already in 2018, nothing's been open. So, but we're talking of 2009 agreement, which up till now has not been fully implemented.
It all began in June when the Kaduna State government, through the State Universal Basic Education Board, conducted a competence test on primary school teachers, in which more than 50% of the teachers failed, prompting government to resolve to recruit new teachers. When I visited Kaduna State, there was a bit of tension amongst workers on what their fate would be following the government pronouncement and federal government backing of the state government in the imminent sack of more than 21,000 teachers. On this fact-finding mission, I spoke to some affected teachers. Most of them pleaded that their identities be protected. I spoke to Ahmed Musa, not real name. He tells me he has been teaching for more than 12 years with his NCE certificate and bachelor's degree in education. Ahmed faults the education process. According to him, he is a primary 6 teacher, thus he could not have scored less than 80%.
Teachers, primary school teachers in Kaduna State today are stigmatized. They have been subjected to ridicule. Anywhere they go, they are being scorned. The exam has 5 sections, and the exam was over 100. Each section carry 20 marks. Now, from that script of one teacher that was displayed, that the government displayed, it carries something over 15 in one of the sections, which is contrary to the standards of the exams that was given to us that day. Another section from that script that was posted on the Twitter, another one has a score over 25. Then how do you justify that? That calls for question. That makes us believe that this result was customized.
He recalled some of the questions asked during the competency test.
During the exams, I was asked to identify square. A square is a plane shape that has 4 equal sides. Then I also asked to identify a triangle. A triangle is also a plane shape with 3 sides. These are some of the things I was asked to do.
In an exclusive interview with the Nigerian Labour Congress chairman in Kaduna State, he tells me dead teachers, cleaners wrote the examination. He is of the opinion that the state government should have a rethink on the issue, as many teachers had their names and exam numbers consistent, but credited with different scores.
In the first place, there were so many flaws, there were so many questions, there were so many mistakes. Even the reliability of the test is not there. So I'll have loved a situation where I cannot say we retrace back, cancel this examination, and give it to the people that knows what is test all about. That is the Teachers Registration Council. So that everyone is given a fair sense of hearing and judgment. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is for you to have a competent and a qualified teachers in our classroom, and that will go a long way in raising the standard. A situation where the government is playing franks or playing politics with the life of children that are yet unborn is something that gives us sleepless nights.
I also interviewed the permanent member State Universal Basic Education Bob Subeb in Kaduna State, Shehu Sani. He advised the affected teachers to send their complaints to their various education secretaries. He also explained to TVC why 75% was the pass mark for the competence test.
After the test, after the result has been out, we have not released it out to the public, but it was ready. So we now look at the result and we agreed that the committee should recommend 60% to be the pass mark. But after we've taken our recommendation to His Excellency, he looked at it and he now said, I will not take the final decision. Develop a memo and take it to the Executive Council. And that was what was done. The Executive Council now look at the result. They looked at the questions set. The questions were drawn from the syllabus of primaries 4, 5, and 6. The Executive Council say they are expected, these teachers are expected to pass 100%. If there is anything more than 100, I think the teacher should get that. But His Excellency, in his magnanimity, he now said, no, let's bring it down to 75%.
Ahmed Musa, like many other affected, feels bad that he might be out of job anytime from now and prays the government will have a change of heart on the whole issue. For now, his hope hangs in the balance.
The state government decision is wrong. Let us say the truth, the next thing, because a lot of people are suffering in this Kaduna state and Nigeria as a whole. Even though the teacher, according to them, they say a lot of them, they don't know how to speak, they don't know how to write, they don't even know how to train the children in the class. Why you don't give them a lot of education? You said something funny. So you know, instead of you to terminate them, you study their own depth, improve their own intelligence.
As a matter of fact, the man who employs SAC, because whosoever paid the puppet dictated to the puppet. So if they are SAC, nothing wrong. But my view on the SAC is that when you are sacking them, give them their due. And my suggestion is as follows. If you sack 21,000, as they were going, give them their letter and give them 2 million, let them go.
Most of our leaders say they are not qualified. They are not qualified in the base of their education. You will see some people, even the way he constructs in English, he cannot even sound English. A leader cannot do that. That is why we are seeing a problem like this. But the way our government is doing our teacher presently is not the best. The situation that we are facing in this government, this is not the right time for them to sack teachers. This is not the right time for the teachers. You can still train those teachers. Train them, give them time. If the other government is not do it according to what it's telling us, if the other one is not do, you should come, because you say you come for changing. The change should be another thing entirely. That change should be, a sort of training.
On the profile interview segment this week, I will be discussing with the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Kaduna State Wing. The chairman will be sharing with us what educationists are expecting from the Kaduna State government to ensure that the education sector is improved in the state. Join me. It's good to have you on the program.
Yeah, you're welcome. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Fine.
A lot has been said and a lot is happening in Kaduna, especially when it comes to labor and industrial relations issues.
Yeah.
Top of it is the looming mass sack of teachers in Kaduna State. What do you have to say about this development?
There are issues that has to do with primary education, and the whole problem shouldn't be put on the teachers alone. We are quite aware that there are teachers in court that ordinarily don't have business being in our schools as teachers. We can attest to that very fact. And that is the more reason why when this government came with the idea of trying to look at who are those people that are supposed to be even in our classroom as teachers, because there has been this issue of saying most of the teachers in our classroom are not competent enough to even deliver.
How true is that?
That is why I'm going through. And I said, yes, as a leader and as a teacher myself, I wouldn't totally condemn by saying that, no, we don't have such category of teachers that are in our schools. But it shouldn't be a general thing. We should look at how do such teachers even came on board. because these teachers came on board through the political process. There you are today, maybe you must have come campaign and vie for a position, and maybe some people must have tried to help you win elections. And some of them, the only best way to compensate such people is to just ask them to, why can't you go and teach? You see, teaching profession has been taken over by politicians trying to bring in their political, what do I call it, their political touts into the system, because they felt that it is only in teaching that you can easily suit in, not in any other profession. That is the level at which the teaching profession has been bastardized. You understand me? To a level whereby even a housewife, the husband will wake up and say, why can't you teach? You understand me? You see, it's a very worrisome issue for you to look at somebody and you have not thought of anywhere to ask that person to go and work rather than teaching.
So
and we keep on saying,
how long has this been happening in
that
the
has
system?
been the system for long. That has been the system for long. You understand me? So when this government came on board, they felt, no, it shouldn't be business as usual. Let's look at this thing critically. They came up with an idea of saying, let us look at these teachers. How competent are they to even teach in our school? Because there has been this agitation that some teachers cannot even write their names, and they call themselves teachers. We, as leaders of these teachers, we shouldn't be seen protecting such people. You understand me? We shouldn't be seen protecting whoever that don't have the capacity to be a teacher. We shouldn't be seen protecting such a person, because we are all product of public primary school. We are taught by public primary school teachers, and we are where we are today. Today we are teachers, and we can be able to stand and talk because we are well taught. So that is why we say, okay, let's see how we can be able to partner with government and see how we can be able to get those that don't have business being in classroom, be removed out of the classroom. If they can be trained, let them be trained. You understand me? So that they can fit into the system.
Now, if the union is ready to partner with the state government to ensure we have the right people in the classrooms, why is it that the government single-handedly went through the process of actually conducting examinations and also marking the examinations and also penciling down names of more than 21,000 teachers to be sacked? Why can't you both work together to ensure that we have the right teachers in the classrooms?
That is where I'm heading to, and that is where I want to say it clearly, that is where the government is getting it wrong. In the first place, we are not fighting government. If we were fighting government, in the first place, we could have maybe tell our members not to even go for such exams. You understand me? That could have, the government could have come back to say, look at this union. We are trying to upgrade the standard of education in Nigeria and Kaduna State, and the union is rejecting it. You understand me? Well, so no, I'm a teacher. I know that there are some among us, not all. There are some among us.
So not up to 21,000 teachers?
I don't want to believe that. Let me take you around. You understand me? When we all agree, not only NUT, all the labor force in Kaduna, under the affiliate of NLC and TUC, we all met. We discussed this thing with government. We said, okay, let's go ahead. But in as much as we have Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, it is the only body that is saddled with the responsibility of regulating who a teacher is, and even training, and even conducting examination in all its ramifications. Teacher Registration Council is every professional body has a regulatory body. So also teachers. We have our own. The medical has their own, the lawyers have their own, the engineers have their own, and so on and so forth. So why should we allow people that are not saddled with that responsibility conduct such exams? We took it off with the government. In fact, TRCN had to write His Excellency, appreciating the effort of His Excellency in trying to upgrade the standard of education.
And how they are ready to assist.
That is it. We have a copy of such letter. I'm coming.
As a veteran teacher, watching the process so far, how would you say the government came about this number of teachers to be sacked?
Good. When at the end of the day it was all agreed and we went into the field, the exam was administered to these very teachers, the result was brought out, we sat down on a committee level. I want the whole world to listen very well. We sat down on a committee level, and in the first place, if government never take us into confidence, in the first place, they wouldn't have constituted a committee involving us as labor leaders. We sat down with government, articulate the outcome of this very exam, discuss it extensively in a committee that was headed or is headed by the Secretary of State Government of Kaduna State. The head of service of Kaduna State, she's also a committee member. Some commissioners were also committee members, including the labor unions and suburb management. We sat down, deliberated extensively, and we agree on 60% as pass mark. Agree on 60% as pass mark.
So what's the pass mark now?
The pass mark, the government came out with a different thing outside what we've agreed, that the pass mark is 75, not 60, as agreed. And the reasons they gave us, that the exams was as simple as to the level that if a teacher fails to score up to 75% pass mark, then he did not pass the such exam.
Did you write that exam?
Of course, why not? You understand me? So these were some of the things that we said. No, it is not done that way. There is nowhere in the world that you pick pass mark of an examination to be 75, not 60.
If you wrote the exam, if you wrote the exam, how would you rate the conduct of the exams and probably the questions that were asked?
Let me even say it clearly. You see, that is why we're even asking government, even at its first time, that give professionals so that they can be able to examine these teachers, so that we shouldn't have any loopholes anywhere. The question itself is all faulty. Even the outcome of the result is all faulty. You'll find out that somebody names appear twice with different scores. You're given to ask question. For example, like my name. If my name is Musa Abdullahi, maybe in the first scores, I score 75 or 80 something. Why the same Musa Abdullahi, the same serial number, the same E number appears in the other result with 60. We have several of them. So you see, the exams itself is even faulty. And I keep on saying it, there are people that wrote this exam. At the end of the day, their name did not even appear. It appears that they didn't even write the exams while they sat for that very exam. We have good numbers of them. You understand me? So these were all the issues. Our question is that if we had sat down in a committee level, agree with government, you understand me, represented by the Secretary of State Government, do we now say government is not there? Government is there. And what measures do you measure failure? Today, in the whole 19 northern states that we have, in the northern state of Nigeria, Kaduna State came first in our last WEC and NECO examination. Kaduna State came first. Kaduna State came 12th in the whole of this country. So what is the rationale of your measurement? How do you measure competency? I'm thinking they measure competency based on the output that you must have seen by way of performance. And how do you assess the way of performance? Is through graduating people from school and the grades that you must have graduated them out of school. You understand me? So these are some of the things that we keep on saying, that government shouldn't be in a haste to do such things.
Let me take you back again. When the news came that more than 21,000 teachers will be sacked, how did your members take it?
Of course. How do you expect them to take it? Of course they won't take it kindly. I believe that's why you are even here. Because it's surprising. Out of 33,000 teachers, you wake up to say that 21,000. And let me give you an instance. I said it severally. That even in these 21,000 teachers that have been said not to have passed with 75%, I want us to be getting it there with 75% pass mark. We all know that in any examination, 75% is already excellent. There are teachers that I know that are very, very competent. Some of them are even resource persons in their schools. So what we are saying is that let us take this thing gradually, so that at the end of the day, we should not use our hands to destroy the better ones that are in the system. Government should take careful measure in trying to get this thing. Now let me ask you a question. These same teachers that government is thinking of recruiting are product of this same process. I was made to understand that even the application, because they were asked to write a handwritten application, most of them were unable to write a handwritten application. where on earth are we going to get competent 21,750
Or will the
teachers?
children be left without teachers?
That's the question. That's the question. And if you look at how we have been managing these issues, the same government came out to condemn our teachers, condemn all of us, that we are not competent. 21,780 teachers are not competent, as such they will be disengaged. Today you find that in a school, in some localities in a school, even single teacher is not left. The bottom line is that government should sit down and look at this thing critically, so that we should not set this very sector 20 years back. I'm telling you this thing. If care is not taken, we are going to set this sector 20 years back. And look at the implication. The same government came out to declare teachers incompetent, 21,700 incompetent. You understand me? Untrainable. That's the statement. Today, the same government is saying that but they can still go back and reapply. After discrediting somebody.
So finally, you believe that these teachers are trainable and can
not
still
all
teach
of
these
them.
children?
They are. These are issues that I want us to sit down and look at it critically, so that we cannot, we should not go out of line to go and destroy the whole thing. Then come back to say that, had we known, we could have maybe take it gradually. I am appealing now that government should look at this thing with sense of reasoning, so that we should take this thing gradually to the promised land. We'll get there, but they shouldn't wake up overnight and just sweep everybody on the ground.
Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. You're welcome.
And that's all we can take on this episode of Labor Lens. Join us next week for a continuation of the plight of teachers here in Kaduna State. I'm Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember, labor creates wealth.